Welcome to Healers Talk Healing, the podcast where we gather to explore the art and science of holistic healing, uncovering the secrets to a happier, healthier you. I'm your host, Nina Ganguly, and together we will delve into the intriguing world of holistic healing, delving into the mind-body connection, ancient wisdom, and natural remedies. Get ready for enlightening stories, thought-provoking expert interviews, and practical tips that will empower you to unlock your true potential and embrace a vibrant, balanced life. Whether you're an experienced wellness enthusiast or simply curious about the power of healing, join us on this exhilarating journey as we share the wisdom and insights that can truly transform your life. It's time to embark on a voyage towards a happier, healthier you. So, without further ado, let's dive into the captivating world of Healers Talk Healing. Welcome back to another episode of Healers Talk Healing. Today, Lynne and I are peeling back the layers of a fascinating topic, drama and its surprising impact on our lives. We're diving into the illusions, pretenses, and even the thrill of being caught up in drama. Whether it's the gossip, the storytelling, or the dopamine hits that come with it, drama has a way of weaving itself into our daily lives. We reflect on how this dynamic plays out, why it's so enticing, and how we can shift our perspectives to move beyond the allure of drama for the sake of healing and growth. So join Lynne and me as we explore the deeper truths behind drama, what it means for our emotional well-being, and how we can rise above it to live with clarity and intention. Let's dive in. So it's so funny because we always do some preamble before we start recording. And I'm like, why didn't I just hit record first? But as you were talking, I'm going to just start it from here with like, am I the drama? Like, am I the drama? I walk
Yes,
around.
you are no, you are not the drama. You are in the illusion and the pretense of being the drama or in drama or loving drama or
Yeah.
creating drama in
I
drama
just,
in drama for the sake of drama's sake.
and it's so funny that you say that because I just recently realized how much being in that space, um, like it's a bit of a thrill because I saw this reel about drama and dopamine hits and being involved in other people's drama or yeah, the whole gossip thing, like the gossiping or just being in drama, getting reeled into other people's drama, creating your own drama, that fix that you get in as what for whatever reasons they were saying, it's a trauma response, which obviously it can be, or whatever reason it is, but what you're saying is something additional to that, which is there's an illusion behind the drama or the fix of it, or just, for the heck of it.
And drama itself, it's
Yeah.
an illusion. So if you remember The Matrix,
Yes.
I think most of us have seen the movie
Mhm.
at least once, if not 15 times, depending on who you are, like me. And so The Matrix really was the first example in media and
Mm,
entertainment that alluded to the fact that everything around us is illusion, that it's a construct.
mm,
And a construct is something that we create within our mind that then is projected externally, and everyone then agrees upon it, and so it appears real.
mm.
That's a construct.
Okay.
That's the construct we live in. And it's not reality. It is all an illusion because it's a construct of what we've dreamt of that we have expressed, and therefore, as a whole on this planet, agreed upon in various forms and ways that appears to hold it together and make it solid, and therefore it's real. But it's not. It's honestly not.
It's funny that you say that. I took some personal development, and one of the one of the distinctions or constructs that they created for us is life is a game.
Hmm.
And life is a game, and we make up all these rules, and then we forget that we made up these rules. And we play like it's the thing, like we the rules can't change. The construct that we create is that it is what it is. There is no flexibility. There is nothing outside of these rules that we created and then we forget. And also, an alignment with what you're saying is that it's empty and meaningless. And therefore, the only meaning that is in life is what you put to it.
Yes. And the reason we have these constructs is because as beings, light beings, period, nothing else. As light beings, the bodies that the physical bodies that we have constructed, the physical world that we have constructed, are all a means of expressing different aspects of our beingness, giving it some other forms in which we're able to grow from, in which we're able to expand. And growth does not mean growth as an elevation, growth means expansion. It is not linear, but it is fully dimensional in its way of being. Okay. And we all have the privilege, the blessing of being able to experience the construct that we're in and that we've created, and that we have all of these different ways of growing and learning and being and experiencing in. It's a blessing because it's also a blessing in how we have made the choice to keep growing, to keep expanding as beings that are part of the whole. And when you also think of it in those terms, there are many things you can consider that are so phenomenally beautiful in what has been created. And yes, there are things that maybe don't appear to be so beautiful to some of us, or that aren't so wonderful and light and fluffy and whatever BS Miss Lynn here is speaking. But even in that, what I believe is important and to understand is that true reality is who we are. True reality is that we can create any construct that we choose. And because we have the ability and the power to do that, we are able to shift, change, transform, which is what miracles to have happen in our life. Really, that's the bottom line. There is, however, as we were talking before we started this particular conversation, or I should say, we're moving deeper into continuing the conversation. Many people that are get a fix, get kind of a high on drama.
Mhm.
I believe that more and more and more today, that drama has been exploited,
Mm,
has been elevated, has been fed to us, has been demonstrated to us in ways that keep us hooked.
mm,
There aren't very many movies, television, news, social media that you turn on that doesn't have some level of drama somewhere,
mhm,
that's constantly and continuously in our face. And there's all the, oh, what's going to happen next?
mhm,
Oh, are we going to move out of that? Is that going to be better? Oh, will they get better? Oh, well, I'd handle it this way. Oh, well, this is whatever it is. And it makes us experience feelings that hold us in drama. Oh, I'm angry about that.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm so sad that that's what's happening. Oh my God, I feel guilty because my life is so much better. Oh, whatever it is, right?
Right.
All of that's drama. And that drama that we stay hooked into and that we hold so tightly onto, that then keeps feeding us and feeding us, feeding us. And yes, I'm guilty of the same thing. There are just some things that are like, ooh, I mean, full disclosure, yes, I like dark films. There are specific reasons for that, which I'll share a little bit later, but yes, I do. Not only for the drama's sake, but other things as well. But when we are able to take a step back and say from a real neutral place as much as possible, okay, you know what? I'm separating myself from what I see or hear or even experience in this moment. Let me step back and I'm just going to be in this moment. And in this moment, I am feeling all these feelings. But do I have to give those feelings action, life, and breath? You don't have to. You can make a choice to go, I'm not going to give that feeling a sense of breath and life that then festers and festers more and grows more. And now I'm expressing it, and now I'm fully in the experience of it. And now. You don't have to do that. You can choose not to. I didn't say it was easy. I didn't say it's something that's a cinch. I'm just saying that we do have that choice, and we have the power to do that too. And so when we sit back and we can really observe from a neutral place, oh, that's happening to them over there. I don't have to get caught up in that because you know what? I'm good. I'm taking the kids to, volleyball practice, and that's no, that's not my experience right now. Because in this present moment I am having a different experience. So when we become neutral like that, even when we are in some deep stuff,
Mm.
we can then make a choice, a decision that what we want to do is elevate ourselves to a place of what would bring me the greatest sense of joy in this moment. Now, for me, and when you move into those kinds of decisions, then there's a level of reality that comes into play that allows you to experience something different. And the full beingness of that experience is what is more real than the bits and pieces of the construct that we get sucked into. I don't know if I'm explaining this well, but there is a little bit of a separation there. So when I saw the fires in LA and living here in LA, many of the neighborhoods and the areas that were on fire are places that I frequented throughout the city and county of LA. Which included the Palisades, Malibu, Pasadena, Altadena, Runyon Canyon, where I'd go hiking, which is right next, literally in Hollywood, and right next to that Sunset and Hollywood Boulevard that almost had fire. There's a small fire around another neighborhood called View Park, Baldwin Hills, which was very critical because there are a lot of oil wells up there. So thank God that was contained. In any event, I'm watching this on television. The area I live in is surrounded by it. Yet we were not experiencing what other people were experiencing because, as a basin, the wind would come in and blow everything out. So we did have blue skies. We did have beautiful clouds. We did have no ash, no smoke, no evacuations. no power outages. It felt like the Twilight Zone. But I was completely caught up in the drama of the fires I was watching on television
Mm.
and could not turn it off. I'm watching restaurants I frequented, places where I used to go and play and hang out, places from high school where we played the other high school and we had games there. You know, a lot of my childhood and also adulthood, all of these places burning and burning down to the ground. And what I was experiencing in all of that was so much grief and sorrow. It's like, oh my God.
Mm.
I felt like the history within my life was completely gone
Mm.
and just done. And how could I recover from that? Now, I did not lose my home. I did not literally experience more viscerally what so many did that I know who did lose their homes, who did have to evacuate, who, as a result, a couple of people now have asthma because of the extreme air quality condition.
Mhm.
I didn't experience that. I could empathize with them. But when I made a choice after watching this happen over 4 days where it was most intense. And I finally said, I'm saturated. I have to turn this off. I can't. I can't. I can give money to people that I love and know and help them. I can give so many things I have in my house that I don't use, don't need. And even if I do, they need it more at the shelters. I was able to do those things. But what I discovered in that moment is that I was so caught up in the drama of what was happening and moving into that feeling of the victimhood to
Mhm.
such a deeper extent that I realized at that present time, wait a minute, all of this will be rebuilt. What happened in the past can be re not experienced but remembered through things that we did then, through photos that were taken, if we have those,
Mhm.
through, you know, people that are still with us that we could talk to and connect with.
Mhm.
And that the actual illusion of all the of what was of the drama and what people had to experience and what they were going through was still something that, as spiritual beings, we could completely create a new construct together in such a dynamic way that would serve all of us even better, even in higher ways, even in more uplifted and sustained ways. Right now, yes, we're still in the middle of all of the upset because anytime there's change, there's upset, and change also causes drama. We go into it in a different way. Oh, I'm scared, la, 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 or whatever it is. Okay. Nonetheless, what's real is energy.
Mhm.
What's real is how energy does continue to change, does continue to morph, does continue to form in various ways. And sometimes it's chaotic and sometimes it's harmonious. But if what we can do is learn how to master the fact that as powerful spiritual beings, we have the ability to literally construct and come into our harmonious, unified agreement to create something more expansive, more beautiful, higher elevated from love, with love, together, then what was the past was simply that stepping stone. Think of it as being like the third grade, and now we can move to the fourth grade. Now we can step to the next level of growth, the next level of our evolution, the next level of our expansion, right? That's what's real, not the drama that we tend to get caught up in.
So how do we, you said, we have to begin to learn how to do that, right? And, you and I are in this conversation, so it's a little bit easier
Oh,
for
sure, sure, of course.
ourselves a little bit and be like, oh, I see, I'm creating drama, or, I'm allowing the drama to somebody else's drama to infiltrate my energetic field. But when we have people who are new to this conversation and
Hmm.
that ability to be like, okay, this is not, not my monkeys, not my circus kind of thing.
Hmm.
How do you begin? What's a first step to begin to say, this is not my drama. This is not my circus, not my, like, this is not mine.
So this is piggybacking a little bit on another conversation we had in reference to connecting with how you choose to express yourself, and then what do you choose to, in that moment, think about or do, perceive, even if other people think you're in la la land. Well, we are in la la land in LA, but even if you're in la la land, um, that just by the thought of it, just by the action of it, just by the perception of it, just by hearing the words, reading the whatever the affirmation or motivational piece is, shifts us just slightly where it's like, for a half a second, I felt better. I felt like there was a light and there was hope.
Mm,
When you can begin to identify whatever that is for you, because for everyone it's something different. When you can begin to identify it, then you can, and you hold that vibration just for a little bit. It's a frequency. It's a frequency vibration. When you can hold that vibration just for a little bit, then you may sink back to wherever you were, previously, and you'll be in that for a moment. But as soon as you can exhale and read, listen, perceive, pay attention to, have a thought about, to elevate you again, it's like little by little by little. That's how you can start the process.
mm,
And I actually believe that meditation is one of the most fundamental ways in which it can allow you to move there a little bit faster. It may not seem like it. We live in an instantaneous world because, let's face it, with technology, everything happens, not even now, but it already happened, 2 seconds ago. And so I expect it to happen 5 seconds ago now, so I can
mm,
experience it. Boom, bam, bam. Okay. Meditation may take a little bit longer than that, but nonetheless, it's a very uh, 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 faster way of being able to start shifting the thinking, the perspective, the awareness, and those sorts of things, so that when you find yourself in any level of drama, and I will say, any feeling you're experiencing that feels yucky and nasty, and I don't like it, and I don't want to feel this way, that's the moment that you know that there's an aspect of drama you're caught up into.
mm,
And so shift it, even if that means taking an answer to your question for the brand new person. Stop, count to 10, and just breathe. That's all. Count to 10 and just breathe.
mm,
And you may think to yourself, this isn't doing any good. I don't even know why she's saying that. Okay. Count to 10 and breathe some more. And count to 10 and breathe some more, until you move into a place where you have shifted and been able to calm all of this stuff that's whirling around you down. Then from that place, you can take a step back and say, okay, what decision do I need to make? What do I need to do? What have I learned from this? How do I proceed? Whatever questions you need to ask yourself in order to then take the next step. And that's how you begin creating your new construct. Does that make sense?
Yes. So here's what I got out of that, right? There is a moment where you need to interrupt yourself for a second.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There needs to be an interruption of who do I want to be or what do I want to express now? Do I want to express the anger? Do I want to get wrapped up in this? Do I want peace? Do I want, like, what do I want in this moment? And,
Mm-hmm.
I know that, I'm not experiencing the impacts of the fire. I'm here in Canada, but I can remember a time a few years ago when the whole world was experiencing that kind of drama.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Mm-hmm.
and what different people did in order to step back. Like, I remember my husband getting so wrapped up, and CNN was on all the time, and I was not in the space because I'd already stopped watching news even before
Mm-hmm.
COVID had happened. And so I watched the drama unfold, and you're watching the people around you who are in there. So I made a choice a long time ago to not be involved in that drama because it wasn't serving me. And so I was still informed. I mean, there was information I needed to make safe decisions.
Mm-hmm.
But when he also stopped watching it, when he started realizing the impact that it was having on him, he made a different choice and a different
Mm-hmm.
decision so that he could every day be okay with the fact that, hey, he has to still go to work.
Yeah.
Those people who didn't get to work from home, he needs
Mm-hmm.
to get up in the morning, get ready, and go to work. And so he made a decision that I am not going to, wrap myself up in the drama that
Right.
felt was being created. And I think it's important for us that, yeah, and he's not in our conversation, Lynn.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
he's in a different conversation, and that's fine. But the
Mm-hmm.
is he recognized for himself, this is not who I want to be. This is not the
Exactly.
I want to make. And that's what makes a difference. It's for every little thing that happens in life is the interruption of, if you don't feel like things are the way you would like them to be, one of
Mm-hmm.
them is like, okay, you accept that it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And the interruption to say, I'm going to make a different choice in how I feel about this right now.
Yes.
I think that's the key. And that's the gift that has been given to us by the universe, which is free choice. And,
Mm-hmm.
you know, having, like, when you read things like, Viktor Frankl and, the Man's Search for Meaning, and it's literally he's in a concentration camp looking for something that can bring him joy. Or
Yes.
he can choose his circumstance to say, this is the worst possible freaking circumstance, and I'm just going to let myself mentally die.
Mm-hmm.
And you get that choice. And I think that is when I hear you talk about the Matrix. I've only seen each one once, but when you talk about the construct and what we create, yes, we are creating. People are living their life outside of me right now, but I don't know what they're creating. I have no idea.
Right.
That's
Right.
the construct.
Right. Although yes, it is. Although there are certain things that we do agree to on a whole, they're called moral values
Mhm.
and how we treat one another and how we interact with one another. Some people choose a different set of their own moral values, but nonetheless, there's still a level of agreement, that happens there. But even that's part of the construct, even if we are not very directly involved with it. There's energy in and of itself is always operating on a whole so that everything is reflective.
Mm.
Everything is absolutely reflective. So when you see something in someone else or in something else or whatever experience you're having, it is reflecting something back to you. What you think about that, what you feel about that situation, what you are judging about him or her or them or they is reflecting literally back to you something in reference to yourself. And as it does, you are the one that has the opportunity to go, ooh, I don't know if I like that so much. And then you recognize, am I really like that? Or is that how I used to be? And I can see it so clearly now. Um, because I don't like that, if that's not what I uh, am, if that is what I am like, and I don't approve of it, I don't approve of it, maybe that's an aspect of myself that's important for me to shift or change or do differently.
Hmm.
And so for everything we are built. And again, I'll say we have the power and the ability to see it, perceive it, experience it differently.
If we
That is our greatest power and gift, and that is reality.
if we could understand as a collective that it is an inside job from
Hmm.
beginning to end.
Hmm.
When you say my life, it is the my in your life. It is like I say this a lot. You are the you in your life.
Hmm.
There's other people who are the them in their lives and
Hmm.
intersect. Our energy fields are
What?
intersecting. We have that collective agreement about how we're supposed to be in societies, depending on what society that you're in.
Hmm.
That also has been created somewhere. Somebody created that.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I showed up in the world.
Bell
I
groups.
agree. I agree. Okay, or I was.
Hmm.
This is what we've agreed to, and so
Hmm.
play that game that
Hmm.
agreed to, and plus you make up your own rules that you agree to. But when you can harness the power, because it is so powerful when you get, oh, wait a minute, oh, that person is, I'm getting triggered by the way they're behaving. What is that saying about me? And man, it's hard because I have those conversations. I never had those conversations before. Before it was a them problem.
Hmm.
But to look and say, what is it about them that is having me feel this way?
Well, here's the real tricky thing if you want to go even deeper into
Here we
that,
go.
is that them is you.
Mm,
There is no separation. There truly is not. All of us are light beings. As light beings, um, we are all the light. And when you think about light, I'm trying to think of an example, but when you think about light and you have one bright bulb here and another bright bulb here, where does one end and one begin? And
mm.
then there's a bright bulb here and a bright bulb there, and one here and here and here and here and here and here, and all next to each other. Them, ooh, is me because my light is reflecting so expansively, their light is reflecting so expansively. Could it be that we're all in the same pool, that we are all the same in the same water?
No.
Absolutely, we are.
That's my human. They're like, no, I'm a
Yes, we
different pool than
are.
myself. But I do understand what you're saying, and that is it is a challenge because that with great power comes great responsibility.
Hmm.
Always, and to say that, um, and I've learned this lesson, and I keep learning it because I think expanding and elevating in the lesson, which is the responsibility I have for my own thoughts, feelings, whatever they are, and when people show up in my life and be like, okay, if we are all one and we are reflections of one another, there's
Hmm.
something about that's I'm not okay with. And then where do, like, it's so easy to say that's you.
Right, but it's not, it's you.
Yeah, now you having this conversation with me, I'm like, oh, there's some things I need to work out, but you know.
Yes, because and that's what I mean by everything that you experience and that's around you, and then part of the five physical senses and all of that is a reflection of you. It never is anyone else. It's just a reflection of you. And so, but we choose to be in the illusion of it being someone else or a they problem or whatever the case may be, because it's easier for us to continue to operate in this construct again, which is also an illusion, but it does help us to continue to expand, to evolve, to grow, and to stretch. And so that's why we have all these little pockets and what appear to be differences
Mm.
so that we can continue to elevate. It's no different than having Barney. You know, when you're a little itty bitty kid, I remember my kids watching Barney, and Barney was always professing how you just need to love yourself and you're okay just the way you are. And it was that same message over and over and over again. Of course, it came out of an era that had a lot of change and turmoil and transformation. And I'm saying now, really, from the World War One through to the 80s and 90s when Barney came on the scene, where now everybody's okay, because before nobody was okay. You know, if you did not conform to society exactly the way you're supposed to, you have the problem, you have the issue, you are no good, you la 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 la.
Mhm.
Well, okay, that was that particular construct. And so that helped introduce Barney, who says, you're okay. You're loved just for who you are. Blah, da, 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 da. And that is true. You are a unique human being that has much to contribute because of your uniqueness. What I have seen energetically, what I know for myself to be true, is that we all possess pretty much the same traits, from the lightest of light to what we may consider to be the darkest of dark.
Mm.
But we each individually, if you want to use that term now, expresses it, shows it, believes in it, and however we're going to
Mhm.
live that, whether we're going to choose to live from a place that's the light, from whatever our perception is of it, to a place of dark, whatever our perception is of it. And here's the real kicker: people and energies that are not necessarily for the good of the whole,
Mhm.
okay, see themselves as being totally in the light. They don't see themselves as being in the dark,
Yeah.
right?
It-
So then, really, who is in the light and who is in the dark? Who's to say? But we all reflect what we experience, what we see, what our beliefs are and our perceptions are, all these different things. And so when we were taught, or during that time of, I say, the Barney era, when was that? Gen X? No, I don't know, whatever it was.
Barney.
I get all the different generations. They're all kind of crowding in on each other.
Yep.
But um, from that place, everyone was unique and everyone was beautiful and everyone was great and so forth. And yes, that was a way to bring more elevation, more expansion, more acceptance. Really, it was about bringing acceptance of all energy into play. We're now moving into a place where it is a higher vibration of, we're all truly one and the same.
Mm.
And one and the same meaning expressed in different ways.
Hmm. I can understand that.
And how we choose to express ourselves is our decision,
I think
individually and collectively in a group.
I understand that from this perspective. It might be a little strange, but I remember, so my dad was born um a Hindu, and he
Hmm.
would explain to me that Hindus have like a million different deities, like so many of them.
Hmm.
And he would say to me, and it is somewhere written somewhere too, that all they were was the manifestation of one energy, which is Brahma. So if there's Durga and Krishna and Saraswati and I don't remember all of them, and Kali, that they literally are just a reflection of a piece of energy from the main source.
Mhm.
And so, what I'm hearing you say is that if we can understand that we are from the same energetic source, which we some people call it God, the universe, they see it in many different ways.
Mhm.
Knowing that and stepping out from those, it's easier to see that, oh, you are a reflection of me because we're from the same source. We're made of
Mhm.
the same piece of river, so to speak.
Mhm. Mhm.
We're all water. And,
Mhm.
some water looks blue, some looks murky, some looks, but
Mhm.
water. So, because I'm trying to like, I'm thinking about a situation that I'm dealing with in my life with
Mhm.
with somebody, and I'm like, okay, well, if their way of being is not sitting with me, then what's that saying about me? And what's that saying about them? And
So you would first ask, what is it about that situation that is most challenging for me in the way that I see it or think about it or believe it to be? So that's the first question to ask. And then when that question is answered, you ask whatever the next question is that makes sense to take you a little bit deeper down that trail. And so, yes, I think your the way that you just described it is a very perfect description. I have studied various religions and different spiritual modalities, and there's truth and real essence that goes through all of them.
mhm,
But the way that it is, each one is perceived and then practiced based on belief systems and experiences that people have more specifically is where we make the separation between light and dark
mm,
and say, oh, well, that's dark over there because I'm in the light. Oh, no, I'm in the light, you're in the dark. That's where it because, but it's still an illusion. It's not what it is. So when you say the river and some of it is bright, beautiful blue, or the water, some of it's bright, beautiful blue, some is a little murkier. And as you were speaking, I was saying, well, that's because the aspect of the water, although formed to look like water, is reflected when it comes to the dirt and the trees and the natural
mhm,
environment around it, the rocks and so forth. And so it's going to lend itself to having the energy of the water or the appearance of the water look different. But is it any different water? No. And is the landscape that's around it any different or separate from the water? No. The landscape might be really green where the trees aren't meeting the water and the sun is able to give it its brilliance and the soil its nutrients, and then you just go a few feet down and it looks a little bit more soft and not quite as brilliant in color perhaps, or whatever the case may be, right? Because the water is meeting it in that place. But does it make it any less magnificent, wonderful, and have the essence of the naturalness and the earth around it? And even though water is fluid and the earth seems to be more stationary or stabilized, these energies still are able to mix, intermingle, change, evolve, shift, and they're still a reflection of one another in various ways.
And I think,
There's no separation.
and I believe that this is something for us each individually to ponder where we're at in this
Mhm.
conversation. For there's people who are further along in the conversation than I am, and people who are just stepping into the conversation. And I hope we've really given you, the listener, something to really think about. And
Mhm.
if you have questions, always put them in the comments for us. You can reach out to us. We have all the information on how to get in touch with us. And I'd like to send out an invitation because we were talking about meditation. And
Mhm.
for 2025, if you're listening in this year, we are doing a monthly meditation of, global peace and wellness. And if you're interested in that, we will also have the link to register for it. It is completely free. It's at the beginning of every month. And we have powerful healers who will be walking us through 10 to 15 minutes. That's all it's going to take of your time to just bring that global energy, that unity, the reflection into one space to help the entire planet and you elevate on your journey. And so I'm
Yes.
very, very
And it's and
about.
it is part of what I was speaking about before. The global peace and wellness meditation is designed for as many people who choose to be part of the community to bring in a very unified way harmony with every living thing on this planet, including the planet herself, that is a living organism. If I won't use word organism, but is alive. Um, to be in harmony with all of that in a unified way that continues to elevate us in the experience of peace, joy, and of course, it all comes from ultimately love. And the first Saturday of every month, we do this, yes. And I will be doing it February 1st. So it will be my opportunity. And for those that may have a wonderful way of meditating and are in harmony with this type of thing, also please reach out to us. We may ask you to lead the meditation for that particular month, and we'd be happy to talk to you about that as well.
Yes. Thank you so much, Lynn, for everything that you do, the powerful conversations that we have. Please make sure to like, comment, share, ask questions. We want to engage in the conversation with you. So
Yes.
until next time, bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us today on Healers Talk Healing. We hope you've been inspired and empowered on your holistic healing journey. If you've enjoyed today's episode and want to continue learning and growing with us, don't forget to subscribe, follow, rate, and review our podcast. Your feedback and support mean the world to us. Remember, healing is a lifelong journey, and you have the power to transform your life in profound ways. Stay curious, keep exploring, and never stop believing in your own capacity for healing.